This is a podcast miniseries presented by Modular Media. Little Worse Than a Pod, Little Better Than a Cast was performed in front of a pre-recorded studio audience.
Good evening, my fine fellow true believers, and welcome to Little Worse Than a Pod, Little Better Than a Cast. I am the Vacuuminator, and I will be playing the part of your host this evening as we discuss the first 2 episodes of Wandavision. Playing the parts of co-hosts will be the gentleman and lady next to me. First up is Boingo Ryder.
Howdy, y'all.
And also joining us as a special guest is Buster Core.
I exist.
You sure do. And I am going to drop this tone now, because it would be very taxing to keep it up for, I'm guessing this is going to go about 45 minutes.
I mean, who knows? I mean, you can't keep up a radio voice? Hello there! Radio!
I can, but then it'll just make it weird when I accidentally drop out of it.
Yeah.
So
the MC motherfucking you!
Hello, boy. MC is baby.
We're finally getting more MCU content after like a year off.
Yeah, and that just made it even more worth it, because it's like, now we had like a year break before Disney Plus just starts flooding MCU content on its site.
Oh god, just inject it in my veins, though. Inject it in my veins.
It is very interesting stuff.
My dude.
Especially because
Ethan Hawke is gonna be the bad guy in Moon Knight.
What?
Oh, wait.
I didn't know that. That's crazy, dude.
I don't know who Ethan Hawke is, but he has Hawke in his last name, so I'm just gonna assume it's cool.
He played Lincoln in Steven Spielberg's Lincoln.
I've watched that movie once. It was a pretty good movie.
I am sure? I'm not. Hold on. He's a celebrated actor.
Who are you? Why are you?
Where'd you come from? Why don't you have babies yet?
Yeah. I'm actually like speaking of WandaVision, I'm glad that they started off with WandaVision just because instead because originally Black Widow was gonna start. I'm glad they started with WandaVision instead, and I know that's because they not pandemic stuff, but I'm glad they started with WandaVision instead of Black Widow because I was not feeling those Black Widow trailers, let me tell you. Taskmaster looked cool. I'm one of those unpopular opinions who actually like Taskmaster's look, but everything else just wasn't doing it for me.
I also wanted Russian David Herbaderbader, but that's just my personal enjoyment of David.
Oh yeah, the Russian guy looks cool.
The Russian Captain America equivalent.
Yeah, who was played by the sheriff from Stranger Things. He looked cool. It just everything else was not doing it for me.
But we are here, and we have WandaVision. The first 2 episodes dropped, throwing everybody for a loop because we thought it was just going to be the first one. Yeah. And now that I've seen them both, I genuinely feel like it needed to be the first 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Because I think if it was just the first one just only gives you a tiny hint. The second one gives you a little bit of bigger hint, and that acts as the bigger hook.
Yeah.
And I just feel like structure-wise, it's better because it shows hey, each episode will tackle a different decade of sitcom parody. Because the first one was 50s, second one I assume was 60s with the whole animated Flintstones thing.
No, that was Bewitched. And I marked out for that because I used to watch Bewitched.
Oh, Bewitched. Okay, sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not familiar with sitcoms from the 80s and below. So
you are very outmatched with me then, because old sitcom reruns were the soundtrack to my childhood. I grew up playing with Transformers on the living room floor while old sitcom reruns played on the TV endlessly.
Yeah, and I don't think it's specifically decades. I think it's more specifically archetypal sitcoms, because the first episode was very Dick Van Dyke Show.
I also like how just they play into the camera styles of the archetype. The first episode's very here's a multicam setup, while the second one it's it gets a little more what's it called, ambitious, quote unquote. But there's more angles.
There's more insert shots.
Yeah. Insert shots, that's what it's called. Sorry.
Yeah. Unless everything is going wrong, in which then you go into single cam modern day filming technique.
Yeah, it's breaking the illusion. Who knows? Theories.
Yeah. Oh man, there is. Because here's the thing, Vac knows, but I am a diehard, deep in the wool Marvel fan. I'm the kind of Marvel fan. I'm the kind of Marvel fan that loves the Clone Saga.
Oh no!
So
it's a trap.
I love the
Buster!
dumb Marvel shit, and this has like just enough that makes that like there are things that are happening in this that like people aren't pointing out that I go like, dude, this there has to be a connection there, like because everybody's been pointing out, oh, this feels very much like a cross between a little bit of House of M and the Visions, which it is.
We reviewed the Visions on this show. Or not this show, but Analytical Fanboys, because I forgot that this was a different show for a second there.
But like, there is an entire Marvel event where basically Shield brainwashes villains into thinking they're in an idyllic 1950s suburban town in order to house them and imprison them. Like that's.
I think I saw a panel. I think I saw a panel of that on Twitter when people are saying this is a cross between this story, the story you're mentioning, and the Tom King Vision run, which I've actually read the Tom King Vision run. So, but it's one of the few comics I actually read. So, hey, I'm a little more.
But also, there is a miniseries from the 80s starring Scarlet Witch and the Vision, where they move to suburbia. In fact, they have neighbors who are magicians whose stage names are Illusion and Glamour.
Oh,
that was a reference. Man, I understood that reference now.
Also, they get twins, some children, with a nanny named Agatha Harkness.
I'm glad. I'm glad I wasn't the only one.
Yeah. There's a lot more Marvel shit, and like there are videos going like, "Here's the big red circle around the thing that you need to pay attention to."
The circle.
Beekeeper suit. Look, it's a beekeeper. I wonder what that means.
Yeah, okay.
Give me aim. Give me fucking aim.
Where is MODOK? Show me MODOK, Marvel. I know you have him.
Here's the thing about AIM and MODOK. I am like the Avengers game. I played that. It was so bad. I am so sick of AIM, and I'm like, you know what? Fine. I know the MCU will handle them better, but when I saw that beekeeper suit, I just got PTSD to that Avengers game, and I'm just like, no.
Oh no.
Also,
like,
sword.
Sword?
Yeah, there was a sword logo on that helicopter.
Oh. Also, like, I'm not sure if you noticed during the watch commercial, they have like, I love this detail when they have little commercials, and the skull, not the skull, technically it's a skull logo, but the watch commercial had the Hydra logo on it, and I thought that was
it's Strucker.
Yeah, Strucker. He's the guy who gave Wanda and Pietro their powers in the MCU.
Oh, okay.
And the first
it's been a while since I've seen Age of Ultron.
The first commercial is for a Stark product, and Stark is partly to blame for Wanda and Pietro getting their powers in the MCU.
Also, it beeps like a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when they turn on the toaster, it has the reactor noise.
I just like legit thought it was just commercials for the sake of like, hey, let's have fun. But no, it's hidden like, it's connections. And I'm sorry, it's been like, so I did it. Everyone else did like an MCU binge before this, and I'm just like, I'm fine. And now I'm like, oh no, I'm not fine.
But there's also a bunch of little other references, like in the second episode intro when the animated Wanda's in the grocery store. There is, hold on. There is. God damn it! I can't. Can I? Is it there?
Nope. How about we talk about the characters? Boingo's looking this up.
Yeah.
I like MCU Scarlet Witch and Vision, but I feel like sometimes they don't get enough spotlight as they should. Like I feel like they have it feels like a side story sometimes, but like so it's like seeing them.
Go ahead.
So it feels like a side story sometimes. Like they for how big the moments they get with them are, it feels like they should have got a little more time. But like I feel like now that they're in the starring roles, it's wonderful. I love it.
Yeah.
Especially.
It very much feels like the MCU has been starving us for them so that we could be so hyped for this show.
Yeah. And like I love this version of Vision. It's like I already like his little comedy bits like Civil War. But like this version of him is just so good. And it's like I mentioned this on Twitter. It's like they're gonna rip out my Urkel Love and Heart when they do things to him in this show, like later on. Because we don't know what they're gonna do to him, but they're definitely gonna do things to him, and it's like, oh god.
Yeah. And like the performance is great because like I don't even get comic book Vision vibes off of him. I just feel like they finally let Paul Bettany be himself, and I'm so happy for him.
Yeah, and like it's crazy because he was just casted as a voice, just like as a voice, and it's like now look at him, he's just doing all makeup and like acting and voice acting
The
is
drunk 10th Doctor in the second episode is great.
that's great. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, he's
Okay.
English. He could be a doctor one day.
Oh damn it! Now I really was. I'm gonna be pissed if the next Doctor after Jodie Whittaker isn't Paul Bettany.
Yeah.
Um,
What else? Yeah, like Wanda's pretty neat. Yeah, so I mean, everyone like I know like a couple people on my TL were getting a little horny for in the second episode when she wore that leotard. So
Guilty.
I mean, dang, you're the fault.
I'm sorry.
It's fine.
Control myself.
honestly, though, the pants were better. But this, okay, in the intro, look at that milk carton.
Let me see.
Over milk.
Zoom in. Milk.
Pietro and Wanda were raised by a artificially super evolved cow named Bova.
Oh, I see.
I did not know that. What the fuck?
Yes. By the way, did you know the High Evolutionary, the Earth version of that, is named Hubert? Also, the name of the black guy that Vision asked to pick a card.
Bro.
Again, like I'm so lost on all the references. I'm just like, it's a neat show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I was enjoying seeing a good sitcom for the first time in ages because, like, I don't want to turn this into Fuck Modern Sitcoms, the podcast, but like, I have not seen a sitcom I vibed with in a long time. So to just sit back and go like, oh, it's good situation comedy, and they're doing all the tropes. Oh my god, I love the tropes. So we're going for it. Yeah, that made me.
I think, like, here's the thing. Like, while there's this ever-present darkness to it, and it's obviously being a parody of sitcoms, it's very earnest. It just feels like holes. It's a legit. It's so earnest in its parody that circles around to just being a good sitcom. It just feels so earnest and just nice, even though there's that underlining darkness. So when eventually those twists come, it's gonna hit even harder. So
Damn it, why?
Because I think the whole sitcom bit is more just a framing device to kind of get people comfortable, but also it's meant to feel good. It's meant to feel inviting because it's a lie that Wanda and Vision are in.
Or if Wanda, I'm kind of thinking Vision's an illusion, or like some fragment of her imagination or something.
Okay, real quick. Possible. I'm going to go full Marvel nerd. I think Vision is going to come back, but not this version of the Vision and not the Vision we already had in the Avengers movies. I think he's going to be coming back as the White Vision.
What?
Okay, so there was a time where Vision in the 90s, I don't remember if he died and came back or if he had his complete memory wiped, but there was a moment where Vision was completely white.
As the 90s.
Yeah, because they just always change up the costumes in the 90s.
I'm looking this up.
It's just a costume change?
Yeah, it was a costume change, but it was also a personality change because this was after him and Wanda had broken off. Like it was in the Visions. At like one of the last episode, one of the last issues, Wanda goes like, "I don't even know," and he's like, "Yeah, my memory's wiped. You don't."
This looks. Oh, actually, I know it's probably just gonna be a repaint, but if they do something closer to the comic, I'll be like, ooh, that suit's really good. I really like that.
Also,
is that emo Vision? Does he go emo?
Kinda. A little.
Although I hope they go. If it is, I really don't hope they like have him be a little more funner or like like in the MC. I kind of hope they make him like if they do this White Vision route. I hope he's more of a wild card character than just like because like this picture you just posted, it seems like very wild card.
I can definitely see him kind of going that route, but also be more of the brutal kind of idea of like life is fleeting, so it doesn't fucking matter. Like Dr. Manhattan in a way.
I can see what you mean. Yeah. And that would be a pretty cool like if they do if they show it in the last episode and they give him a like big battle. That would be a pretty cool final thing to do.
So yeah, who do we think was trying to reach Wanda on the radio?
Justin Wong's character from.
I think it was Doctor Strange. I thought like, okay, at first I thought it was Cap because there was rumors about Cap coming back, and I was like, "Oh, was this about it?" And I was like, then I realized, no, that doesn't really make much sense. Maybe it's strange.
Yeah,
Especially
but
that would
never
tie
found anything like him.
And they could just be using a voice modifier to like hide the surprise or something. I don't know.
That's true.
Also, real quick, yeah, no, I have the episodes up right in front of me, so I'm screenshotting shit.
Okay.
Yeah, and I gotta help.
Yeah. This is also just I'm still in Easter eggs. That
Oh
look at that
shit!
helmet. You recognize the helmet, don't you?
I didn't recognize it when I was watching, but I do now.
Now Galactus helmet.
No, that's the helmet of the Grim Reaper, brother of Wonder Man, who is the mental framework for the Vision, who is killed by Grim Reaper is killed by Vision's wife and the Visions.
Oh, ooh. Actually, like speaking of the Visions, do you think we'll see the Viv and what's the other guy's name? The brother's name, Viv and
I don't think we're gonna see Viv. I think we're gonna see Wiccan and the other
Wiccan,
one.
like
No, not Hulkling.
Wiccan's his husband.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to I just think of Wiccan and Hulkling because they're the couple, but I'm trying to think of who the other.
He has Pietro's powers. He's a speedster.
That does not help.
I know. That's why I'm on Marvel Wiki.
Well, look at you, fancy.
yeah, look at you being Al Ewing because I don't know. I just said Al Ewing just because someone said, "Yeah, he's the Marvel Wiki page," and I'm like, I'll take your word for it.
That's Pietro.
Trying to think. Anyway, while Boingo's looking it up,
Yeah.
Thomas Shepard Speed.
Thomas Shepard Speed?
Yeah, Thomas Shepard's his civilian identity. Speed is his hero identity.
He's named after a drug?
He's a speedster.
How do you spell Shepard?
Sheppherd.
Thank you for teaching me spelling on this very unprofessional podcast.
Indeed.
But I definitely have a feeling it's going to be Wicked and Speed because we also have Ironheart coming out, Miss Marvel happening. I wouldn't.
They're building the Champions.
Champions or Young Avengers? One of the two.
Yeah, I was just asking. Like Young Avenger, are they gonna call them the Young Heroes, Young Avengers, or Champion? I prefer Champions just because I feel like when they kind of want to take a break from the Avengers name, and like so when it comes because they're gonna make another Avengers one day, so I feel like they want to make it make it a significant amount of time. So when like the new team forms, it's like it feels like a big comeback.
Yeah, and like they could also pretty easily do Patriot in Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Ooh. Yeah, it's clear they want their like young hero team. Because both heroes are retiring or on their last adventures, so you gotta get the next generation in.
What's the joke Deadpool makes when he's building X-Force? We need him young and like able to do 18 more films.
Yep. And they kill Brad Pitt.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's Patriot. If I remember right, his backstory is kind of fucked up.
Ooh, yeah.
It's fucked up in a real world kind of way because Captain America wasn't the first person who got the super soldier serum. Technically,
did I just crap out or did everyone else?
I don't know. He just stop talking.
Oh no, I was talking the whole time. What did you miss?
Oh, technically, that's
technically, Captain America wasn't the first super soldier. Very much like in real world, they experimented on enlisted black soldiers first in order to perfect the serum, so they all got fucked up. And he's like the grandson of one of them.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm not sure. Like, I don't want to be that guy who says, "Oh, MCU was just watered down," but I'm not sure if they'll do that in the MCU. I would be surprised if they do it, but I'm not sure if they're gonna. If that makes sense.
I can see that, but like that was just more of like saying like, "Hey,
yeah." This is just turned into like Boingo reads his friends the Marvel Wiki page.
Oh no, half of this is out of my own head.
Boingo is the Marvel Wiki page then.
You laugh, but that's what his lecture was going to be at the summit before it got canceled.
But no, like Sword is interesting. There's going to be interesting things about that. Also because a lot of Sword is heavily tied in with the X-Men.
Ooh, yeah, I was gonna say Sword sounds like something related to X-Men.
Well, the current Sword book is an X-Men book. It has who's on it? Prodigy's on it. No, Prodigy's not on it. Prodigy's in X-Force. Magneto's basically kind of like the Professor Xavier of the team.
Oh.
Cable's on it. Also, Deadpool 3 is MCU.
Oh yeah. Honestly, I just feel like I kind of expected them to do that and just say, oh, like Deadpool to just like use his fourth wall breaking powers to just jump universes or whatever. Just because like, oh, the contract needs me, whee, or something like that.
The show ends with just frickin' Ryan Reynolds showing up with a katana, murdering everyone except Wandavision and being like, you guys weren't supposed to be here. We gotta go over there.
Yeah. Actually, speaking of that, like, this is a weird side note. Do you think they're gonna retcon Scarlet Witch like into being an actual mutant, or are they just gonna leave her experiment?
No, because she's been retconned into not being an actual mutant in current comics.
They're retconning her back though.
What?
Yeah, there was a recent like X-Men book where like Magneto basically goes, "Yeah, she fucked us over, but like I need to be the bigger person and like understand understand that Wanda was in a bad place and we need to grow as people." So he's trying to reconnect, I think.
Yeah, so they might retcon like back. Honestly, this has just become what WandaVision means for the MCU than just, hey, let's talk about WandaVision.
I mean, we can still talk about WandaVision, but like there's implications so abound in WandaVision that because here's the thing, if they started with Black Widow, we wouldn't be having these kind of conversations because Black Widow seems to be a pretty standard MCU kind of movie.
Mm-hmm.
Because it would have been Black Widow, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and it's like, oh, that's pretty standard MCU. But since we're starting with this, it completely reframes the idea of like, okay, what's next then?
Yeah, it's more. This is why I mentioned this in the beginning. I really appreciative that they started with this instead of Black Widow because it's more interesting. It makes me look forward to Phase 4 more.
And remember, like the key advertising note for this was just people standing on a stage going like, this show is so weird, you guys. Just, we can't say anything, but it's weird. So, like, this is just the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is definitely connected to Multiverse of Madness.
I don't think it's going to go so far as to say, like, oh, this is fucking up the multiverse. I think Wanda's just part of it, and this is heavily going to impact her character in that.
I just think that like Strange is gonna like come in, so it's just gonna be Strange makes acquaintance with Wanda, so like when the multiverse starts collapsing in that movie, he's gonna call her for help.
Hey, I need your chaos magic. What? Yeah. I have chaos magic? Yes, you have chaos magic.
I think he's gonna show up and just be like, "Yo, I've been looking for an apprentice, and it seems like you could really use somebody to teach you how to use your fucking shit right."
Yeah, instead of just letting you go. Oh, but like Monica Rambeau's also in this, and she's going to be a Captain Marvel character.
Monica? Oh, is that who the African American lady is?
Yes.
Okay, I thought I recognized her somehow.
She was the second Captain America, not Captain America, Captain Marvel.
How dare we all mention Captain Marvel? We're gonna get doxxed.
Oh shit! Damn it! Gotta move again.
Yeah.
Can we just like quietly acknowledge how great it is? Like, what a great pull it is that they got the mom from That 70s Show in this.
Oh yeah, no, that immediately makes you in the framework of like old sitcoms, and it frames so much of the environment that you're in. Like, it really helps in a way.
Mm-hmm. Especially because she's. Go ahead.
Again, all I know about sitcoms is your TGIF Fridays, like your Full Houses and Urkels. So I'm just completely lost.
Mm. Well, I mean, like, she walked out, and I was like, oh my god, she doesn't look like she's aged a day, and she's playing basically the same character. This is great.
Yep, but that's Monica Rambeau.
Yeah, they're definitely doing stuff with her in Marvel too.
Yeah, she also goes by the hero named Spectrum, so that's probably what she's going to go by in the movies.
I like that name.
She controls, like, light and shit, so...
Interesting.
Yeah.
Honestly, Captain Marvel 2 just seems like I like the first Captain Marvel, but 2 just seems like, hey, let's do all this crazy stuff that people actually wanted from the first one.
That seems to be the theme with all the sequels we're getting in the next phases. Now let's actually do what people wanted, instead of what we had to do to get normies on board.
Yeah, honestly, Phase 3 was already like partway through that. Like, like Ragnarok. I know, like there's like some criticism towards Ragnarok these days, but like Ragnarok was just crazy. So
Ragnarok was a Kirby fever dream, and I love it.
Yeah.
Now just give me Beta Ray Bill, and I'll be happy.
Yeah. Or just like
just give me all the D and C list Marvel characters that no one gives a shit about, but only like I give a shit about, and I'll be happy.
Hey, as a Marvel vs. Capcom.
Go ahead.
Sorry, as a Marvel vs. Capcom like new fan, I just want to see Doctor Doom just shoot lightning, and I know that's not going to happen, but I want it.
Oh, it can, and it will.
Oh, dude, Doctor Doom's going to go. Doctor Doom. You know what would be an amazing third Final Fantastic Four movie? The whole Doctor Doom gets magic and kills Ben Grimm, and they have to go to heaven to save him.
That
whole play Jack Kirby.
Jack Kirby's son, I guess. Ooh, no. You know who you get?
Kevin Feige.
Kevin Feige would be interesting. You get the dude who wrote the story. I think it was Mark Waid? No,
that's from Wade and Waring Goes FF, yeah.
That is Wade? Okay, yeah, get like Mark Waid. Or if you want to, like, you can only get one person and you can't get Wade at that point in time, get Hickman.
Oh, from what I know about Jonathan Hickman, he would play that part of just the fourth wall breaking offer perfectly.
I'm trying to think of other things we can go over in this. Yeah. I really like how they do the color against black and white stuff. The like stark standout it has. It really punches in a way that doesn't feel like a digital effect, but probably is. Like the effects in this show are just fantastic in general, and how they perfectly create that like shit being held up by a wire stuff that was going on in the 50s and 60s. That opening bit where Vision gets hit in the head with a plate, I clapped.
Yeah, honestly, like I feel like I know like there's a big debate about MCU CGI, but I just really like the effects here. It just like it feels like it's like it just feels so just nice. It's like a mix of like I don't know. I just like it.
There's practicals there because I think this show was also filmed on the same kind of sets that Mandalorian used, the LED backdrops.
Yeah, I've seen those kinds of sets. Those are really good sets. Those are really impressive.
That would really explain how they were able to capture some of the like small town that's obviously a set built on a backlot look of a lot of the scenes. Like that talent show scene where they're like, oh, and the tickets are sold out, and it's like 12 people in the audience and no one else is around.
Yeah.
Also, no children in the town, even though they're doing everything for the children.
Or the children.
Yeah. Or the children. Well, you screwed it up.
I'm the one who started it, so I don't have to repeat it.
Dang it. Just doing everything for Boingo.
For Boingo.
For Boingo.
And my sword.
Yeah, I get like I know like there's like there's of course it's gonna be those like hyper MCU marks where it's like this is groundbreaking, revolutionary, and like saying it's like, but like it really dang it, the recording guy failed, whatever.
One of them did, the other one.
Backup is still going. It's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so like I'm just saying there's like it's not like my thing is it's just everyone's saying this is groundbreaking and like for the MCU it is. It's not really I just still like even if it's not groundbreaking, I just enjoy it a lot. it's
groundbreaking. It's just nice.
Yeah, exactly. Nice.
I mean, it's just pulling the same kind of punches that Twin Peaks and the more mainstream Lynchian kind of stuff does.
Yeah.
But like there was also another line that was really cool because they're dealing with swords, all extraterrestrial threats. The first line Vision says is "my wife and her flying saucers."
I assume that's a reference.
It's sword that deals with aliens.
Yeah. Just yeah.
Shield deals with all the
division of Shield.
Yeah. So Shield deals with all the superhero stuff. Sword deals with all the alien stuff. Hammer is like Shield but evil.
Is there a gun?
No.
I just want a Pokemon logic. If there's a sword and shield, there has to be a gun.
There is Alpha Flight. They're just Canadian.
And then there's Girl. They're just a bunch of girls doing sciencey stuff in Hank Pym's old basement.
Yeah.
That sounds very old.
Hank Pym is dead at this point in time. It's his long-lost daughter who inherited the lab.
Okay. That sounds much better.
The book is actually really good. You should read it.
And there's AIM and Hydra. And Weapon X, if you want to be the weapon program, which if you want to be technical, as a separate entity.
I kind of just consider that a thing that's going on within the Canadian military.
Yeah. No, technically, Weapon 1 is Captain America, right?
Yeah. Isn't that just an Ultimate thing?
No, I think it's mainstream.
Okay.
I don't remember. I know in Ultimate Universe, all the mutants are manufactured. They weren't natural.
Yeah, because the idea with the Ultimate Universe is Captain America kicked off everything. Every nation in the world wants their own Captain America. And also America can't make a new Captain America. So the race to do that is what makes superheroes start being a thing.
Yeah.
Okay, I from what I've seen of the Ultimate Universe, I hate it.
It's not great.
The only thing people really genuinely like of the Ultimate Universe is Spider-Man.
And I was just about to say that. Like, I like I've read a few of the Ultimate Spider-Man comics, both the Miles and Peter. I like those, but everything else just sounds like the most. How do I put this without sounding cliche? It just sounds bad. It's just bad. Cannibalism. There, that's all you need to know. Cannibalism.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. No, Weapon 1 is
meat on this bone.
Weapon 1 is Captain America, and this is 616 universe. Weapon 2 is Brute Force.
Brute Force. I just heard of them through Linkara, but hey, Brute Force.
Yeah. Let's see. Weapon 4 is the serum that created Man-Thing.
Okay, I'm sorry. Weapon 1 through 4. That just sounds like a Sentai team to me.
There's Weapon 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is Weapon X. Is the team that created
Wolverine,
Red Omega, because it's a team of scientists. That's what the weapon blank is. Yeah. There's Phantom X. He's Weapon 13.
Mm-hmm.
But so here's the thought: do you think this show is going to lead to mutants in the MCU?
I think it will hint. I don't think it will lead. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I think this is more about getting us to more mystic stuff.
Yeah, I think it's more of a Doctor Strange setup.
It's just more of a question because people have been theorizing that they're going to kind of do an opposite of House of M, and one's just going to go all the mutants.
Honestly, I just this is the worst idea I've ever come up with, but it was an idea I thought of, so I should share it. I stupidly thought around Endgame there would be this huge infinity explosion that would create mutants. That's the worst idea I've ever thought up about. That sounds horrible.
No, I saw that going around, dude. That was I legitimately bought into. That's probably what they're doing.
Here's the thing about mutants, though. Technically, mutants have always existed. It's just certain spikes in energy encourages more mutants to.
Oh yeah, actually, the pitch. Someone was pitching X-Men. Professor Thorgy is this really good comic YouTuber. You should check him out. He was pitching X-Men in the MCU for a video, and he was just saying, "Well, just have the first just have them be oh, they've been headed under the government, how they've always been, or he pitched a Magneto solo movie, which the events of that would basically lead to the government trying to hide mutants, but there would always be spikes and occasionally."
Because Apocalypse has always existed technically since Ancient Egypt.
Yeah. Again, that's why I'm pretty sure they would want to do Apocalypse for the MCU because that's Apocalypse. You want to get those big blockbuster stories in there, so just makes sense.
Plus, if they do Galactus and Doctor Doom as big universe-spanning bad guys, Apocalypse makes sense to do.
Yeah.
Especially because they can run through a lot more mutants than they can with regular heroes.
Yeah. Actually, on a side note, I really hope they do an X-Men series instead of they could do a movie, but I really hope they focus on series of X-Men just because I feel like it's better. Because the X-Men movies have a problem with focusing on there's just all these mutants, and I feel like if you do a series, it's better focused for that.
If they do a movie, they need to focus on a specific era team. You do the original 5, or you do giant size X-Men.
Yeah, I can see it. I just from I'm just I know people like those old X-Men movies. I'm kind of mixed on them because it's they're fine. I like the effects and there's good characters, but it's mostly focused on 1 or 2 characters out of all these other characters that are in the movie who get one cool scene each.
Yeah, you do a TV show on X-Force, Excalibur, all them guys.
Yeah. Again, I just think honestly I'm just more of a fan of just the TV format in general. When it comes to things, I mentioned this in my Mandalorian review, but I just like the TV format over movies just because there's more time and to get attached to these characters and just easier to consume for me.
Speaking of like attachment, like they've been doing a really good job in the show of building up all these side characters as like you don't see the character that they actually are because they're in this illusion they have to play up this 1950s 1960s sitcom character, but like they play them and portray them in such a way that you still feel sympathetic for the person that they probably are.
Yeah,
like fucking Vision's coworker. That guy seems like he's been stepped on his whole life.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy. I'm gonna see who plays him. I think I recognize him.
But you know what I mean? Like I don't feel like we know who these characters are, but through the brief moments where they look fearful, their eyes start to strain, they go like, "Oh God, what's happening?" You feel sympathetic for who they are. Like that's a very fine line to get at.
Yeah, I fully that's God, I'm just blabbing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what this kind of thing is for.
Yeah, well, just like incoherent blabbing, not like actual.
But like, I definitely feel like Agnes is going to be Agatha Harkness. We're probably going to get Mephisto in some way, which is going to be fucking great.
What if that's who her husband actually is? Because we haven't seen her husband yet, but he's been mentioned several times.
And like, I watched a video that kind of mentioned that showed that Agnes talks about the devil a lot.
Oh,
the devil's in the details. Oh, that's not the only devil here. Her bunny's name Mr. Scratch, as an old Scratch, which is an old nickname for the devil.
I'm sorry. The only thing I know about Mephisto is that One More Day story. So I'm kind of like, that's all I know about him. But like, still, like
Mephisto altered reality to give Wanda kids, and that's why they had to be erased because they weren't real, and they were.
Okay. Side note: what's Mephisto and Marvel's early 80s 90s Marvel's obsession with pregnancy storylines, superpowered pregnancy storylines?
It's just probably like a couple of the writers had kids, and they're going like, what's a thing we can tell a story about pregnancies.
Yeah, even though they turned out to be some of the most infamous stories in Marvel history.
Oh, very much so. I mean, they're still pretty infamous. Just look at the Jessica Drew is pregnant Spider-Woman arc.
I heard about that. I just knew what happened, and I'm like, oof, that
better or worse than the modern arc where her entire character just becomes, I was pregnant once.
Her and Jessica Jones has a mom club. But yeah, no, these first two episodes has a lot of like little Easter eggs that like hint at what's coming, but there's not a ton to really show what's happening.
Since we're near the end, can we talk about the ending transition to like color TV? I just thought that was cool. That
was beautiful.
Yeah,
and it's not even like full like contemporary color. It is like the shitty Technicolor, the early that TVs had.
Yeah, again, it's enforcing that like, hey, every episode's a different decade. Next episode's 70s, I assume.
Late 60s. I think it's going to be more like late era Dream of Genie.
How many episodes are scheduled for this show?
It's 6 episodes, so it'd be 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, contemporary.
Yeah. I'm actually very interested to see what the contemporary one looks like, because there's different,
it's going to look like Modern Family.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I was going to say, is it going to look more like Community? Is it going to be more those, I don't know.
I mean, the 90s one looks like Roseanne.
Oh, we've seen the clip of the 90s one?
Bits in the trailer.
Okay. I've not watched the trailer just because I want to say spoiler for it. I just want to go in blind with these MCU projects, unless it's like Spider-Man, which I'm like, because I have no idea what's going on with Spider-Man. There's just all these rumors, and I'm like, what the hell are you? Is this real? Is it fake? Are people just very desperate for clicks? I don't know.
But man, it was a good, solid first 2 episodes to really kind of get you into the whole world.
First episode was like, yeah, this is cool, but it could wear out its thin. But then the second episode just grabs you, saying, nope, you're staying.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the Cold War jokes are fucking hilarious to me.
Yeah, and Ralphie is a communist.
Oh, that just came out of nowhere for me, and I'm just like, I was just like, no, that just cracked me up.
Meanwhile, Chris found his new favorite character.
Yeah, I think that's what cemented my love for this Vision. Like, because I already like the Vision, but I think that's what cemented my love for that, like this specific like incarnation of the character.
Also on the other AIM thing, whenever they go to the credits, it closes in on them with a hexagon, which is also a major motif of AIM.
Yeah. Speaking of which, those credits in the first episode, were they a reference to anything?
I was like, no. Hold on.
Actually, like in the book, there was 2 credits like each episode. I was wondering if they're those going to be actual character names that pop up later, or if they're just random names they came up with, or if they're just references. Or for a second, I thought that was the show's actual staff, as they're putting like in-universe versions of them.
They never showed the names of the episodes either. You have to look that up on Wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really? I think they're just called episode 1, episode 2, episode 3. Yeah, they're just called that. Yeah, they're just called episode 1. Like on the Wikipedia, I'm just looking at it's like episode 1, episode 2.
That's slightly unsitcom-y. I don't know what to say about that.
Yeah, I guess that's just how Disney Plus is doing. Maybe they'll give them episode titles later because The Mandalorian had episode titles. So just kind of weird that they just stopped.
I see Abe Brown as a character from Marvel Comics. And it was in Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, so it's just a bunch of references.
Yeah. Abe Brown is Hobby Brown's brother, who is Black Tiger.
Odd. I have no idea what Black Tiger is.
He's a B or D-list Marvel character. There's a lot of those.
Yeah, it seems like this phase is gonna focus on, hey, comic fans, you like him or her? Well, we gotta bring him. Like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Just because I'm so confused doesn't mean like, yeah. I'm just like all for it, even though I'm gonna be so confused when like you all start like, oh, it's that character from this thing and this thing who from this story.
Meanwhile,
the minute they bring up Sleepwalker,
I blew my wad in the first 15 minutes, and now I'm just letting him go, Buster.
Yeah.
Like there's so much weird shit in Marvel that they have barely even scratched the surface, and people keep going like, "Oh, they've gotten weird with everything." It's like, bro, you don't even know. Wait until if they're bringing an AIM, which my theory is that this is a version of Sword that's not the full version of Sword, and it's gonna break into the Sword we know from the comics, which is more alien stuff, and AIM, like we're gonna get a full-on beekeeper suit AIM, then we can get a MODOK.
Please.
Ooh. I mean, like, the thing is, I'm actually was skeptical of MODOK coming to the MCU for one reason. He's getting a Hulu show, but I'm like, they probably don't need that's probably just a side thing. They're probably, although, for the love of God, please don't base him on I'm sorry to bring up the Avengers game again. That game haunts me. Don't make him like the realistic version they did in the Avengers game. That looked awful. Here, I'm gonna put a pic to scar you guys.
I want him to be played by Benedict Cumberbatch. I don't care that Benedict Cumberbatch is already Doctor Strange. Make him MODOK too. He has the face for it.
Like, oh god, like he just looks so bad in this game.
I mean, that's what MODOK looks like. That's a MODOK. That's a MODOK, right? That's a real. Oh, he has a body.
Yeah, the body just throws it off for me. It's like it just boggles. I'm sorry to go on a rant about the Avengers game, but you chose the realistic art style Avengers game to have MODOK as your villain. What the hell? Like, this isn't Ultimate Alliance where it's like comic booky. This is like legit.
I mean, who else are you going to use for Avengers? Thanos is too big for a simple game. That's like the third game you use Thanos. Ultron, then you're just fighting all robots.
And the whole purpose of that game also seems to just be to prep people for concepts that are coming into the MCU. Like, I hear Kamala Khan plays a major role in it.
She does. She's like the main character. Although, again, it's half good, half it's mostly just the live service that bugs me. And also, Kate Bishop just got added. I haven't played around with her, but I heard she just plays like Deadpool for some reason. She literally has teleportation and swords, and I'm like, wait, what?
Why? No, I'm apparently offended as a Kate Bishop fan.
Yeah, like what else? Oh, they also put this guy, the Maestro. He's like a future Hulk.
Yeah, no. Oh shit, Maestro.
Oh no, here we go.
Dude, fucking Maestro's sick though.
He is, but now we're gonna be here another hour.
No. Also, just saw this fucking tweet.
Small
There's a
Maestro.
reference to the fucking Wizard.
What?
And what? WandaVision?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Oh, the Wizard. Oh, like Wiz. Well, I mean, people use G. Willikers Wiz but in the show, so it kind of makes a little sense.
Those pants are just peachy keen.
What's the worst part of back to the Avengers game? The worst part about the Maestro is that he's like one of the only good-looking characters in that game. Everyone else looks a bit uncanny.
Oh, Maestro always looks good. How do you think he beds so many women other than taking them hostage?
Dang.
So that's a thing.
What?
Wonder.
What?
Is that Wonder Man, right?
Yeah, it's Wonder Man, who in the comics is the base for the brain patterns of Vision.
Yeah, I knew Wonder Man, like he's just a big part of old Avengers, so like I was like, oh yeah, that's neat.
He's also a terrible actor.
Dang.
But I mean, he looks good on screen. That's why he gets hired.
Yeah.
And he doesn't
wait a minute. Didn't they tease fucking what's his name, Mal from Serenity, to play him in a
God,
in
if
Guardians of the
Fillion
Galaxy?
plays Wonder Man, that would be so fucking good. That would be perfect.
They teased that in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's a poster of a Wonder Man movie in the background of Guardians of the Galaxy that is Nathan Fillion playing Wonder Man.
Ooh. I know Nathan. It's weird. I know Nathan Fillion's name, but I just don't know what kind of roles he's famous for.
He played Castle in that one procedural. He's voiced Deadpool once or twice, I think.
He voiced I'm looking at Hal Jordan.
Yeah, he voiced Hal Jordan in the CG show.
Oh, he's gonna be in the Suicide Squad as TDK. And he was Hal Jordan in like a Reign of Superman direct-to-video movie.
And First Flight.
Oh, if he's gonna be here's my thing. Suicide Squad can be a DC movie, but it's also fucking James Gunn giving a casting call for any future Marvel shit.
Freaking John Cena.
Mark my words, John Cena's gonna be in the MCU.
Who's he gonna be though? Who's he gonna be?
I mean, he was in Rise of Ninja Turtles, and that was pretty. He played a really cool character there, so
he'd have to be an old school big strong lad kind of character. But we already got a US Patriot. We already got a nuke. They may do another nuke.
US Agent is coming in
Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Falcon Winter Soldier. What if he's Juggernaut?
Oh, that obviously that would fit him.
That'd be good. That'd be fun.
Probably wrapped up during like 10 o'clock my time.
Yeah. I mean, that pretty much sums it up, right?
Yeah. I don't understand, but I like it very much.
I'm just freaking out because, again, dyed-in-the-wool Marvel fan, there's so many like little, hey, these are Marvel things. Just so... Because they've always kind of been doing that in the MCU. But like now it feels like these aren't just Easter eggs for you to kind of go like, oh, I recognize that. It feels like genuine, here's hints of what we can do.
Yeah, like I didn't even notice those Easter eggs, and I just like even as someone who just doesn't notice the Easter eggs, they didn't really overtake the show. It just was a side thing to just this fun sitcom with a dark edge.
Yeah, no, I have no thoughts that they're ever gonna do anything with the fucking Wizard.
Yeah,
it's just like it's a fun, neat thing to see. But like Wonder Man, I can definitely see them doing something with Wonder Man. I mean, he has a lot of history within the Marvel universe.
Yeah, they're definitely doing stuff with Wonder Man, I think. But not, like, I don't know what they're gonna. I know because like they already have Vision, but like Vision, as you said, Wonder Man was based on Vision's patterns. So are they gonna?
No. Vision was based Wonder Man. Wonder Man. They basically scanned Wonder Man's brain, put that into Vision. That's how Vision.
I mean, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, reverse that for the MCU, or I don't know.
That's possible, but also like there's so many possible avenues with Scarlet Witch because again, she's a reality warper. I think when she was a mutant, she was considered Omega level.
Yeah, but like didn't she like kill the Avengers in like a Brian Michael Bendis written like Avengers Disassemble thing?
She didn't kill the Avengers. She just fucked with so much shit that the Avengers went like, you know what? Let's just wrap up this whole Avengers thing. Let's no more Avengers right now.
Yeah, sorry, that kill was just like apparently people did get killed.
I was just scrolling through the Marvel Studios subreddit. Somebody pointed out By appearing in Iron Man 3, Captain America Civil War, and now WandaVision, Paul Bettany has been there to kick off each phase of the MCU.
Yep. And
Good
to
for
think,
him.
when he got killed in Infinity War, he was going like, "Oh, I guess I'm fired."
Nope, don't forget
Really?
you're here forever.
Let's see. Jamie Braddock
The Marvel.
is Omega, Robert Drake, Iceman, Joshua Foley, Elixir, Jean Grey, Marvel Girl, David Haller, Legion, Eric Linsher, who is Magneto, Kevin McTaggart, Absalon Mercator, Mr. M, Aurora Monroe, Benedict Paris, Exodus, Quentin Quire, Kid Omega,
What's
Frank
happening
Miller.
right now? What are you reading off? What?
Yeah, yeah.
These are Omega level mutants.
Okay.
Oh,
Gabriel Summers and Hope Summers.
All right. So, I mean, I think that pretty much wraps it up. There was a little less bone or a little less meat on this bone than I thought, but like, it's a good show. We liked
I can
it.
make a
A lot
stew
of
out of that.
references. Yeah, I know you can. Shut up. There's a lot of good references in this. We're probably going to be back to discuss the next episode next week because we didn't even fucking talk about the fact that we're doing this as a fill-in for Analytical Fanboys until Snowcone sorts his shit out. But I'll have posted that on Twitter, so it'll be fine. So this will come out on Fridays probably. So we'll be a week behind the show, but that's fine. Gives you guys times to digest and think about the episodes, and then we'll talk about it and whatnot. And I don't know, maybe Boingo should just shove this in the front since he's editing it. But that's gonna do it for this episode of Little Worse Than a Pod, a Little Better Than a Cast. So
Is that the actual-
let's go around. That is
Yes, that's the actual name.
So we're gonna go around.
We hate YouTube analytics giving people our videos, so we just went like, fuck it. Let's just just give ourselves the worst name possible.
Make it an acronym.
Yeah.
Also, go around the table, starting with Buster. Tell everybody what you do and where they can find your stuff.
Hey, I'm Buster Corp. I do reviews on games, tokusatsu, cartoons, and sometimes I pitch things like a Spectacular Spider-Man revival or an upcoming like Power Rangers Dino Charge Brave thing. I just released, at the time of recording, I just released a video on the Scott Pilgrim vs. the World game. Very good game. Go play it or watch my video on it too. And yeah, just play Scott Pilgrim.
All right, Boingo.
Hey, howdy. I'm Chris Boingo Gaston. I do video editorial and essay stuff. You can find my shit on Boingo Writer. Just search on the fucking YouTube bar. You can follow me on Twitter at Boingo_Writer. You can follow me on Instagram at Boingo_Writer. And as always, you can join my Discord server. With link to that is in the description. We also made a video game, me and Vac, Dream Johnny. You can go look for that. Pimp our shit. That's what
I didn't know that was gonna follow us to this. Oh god. Hi, I'm back. I make the stuff on the YouTube. I'm trying to fix Power Rangers Megaforce. It's not going very well, except I do have my new camera earlier than expected, so maybe it is going well. I don't know what my life is anymore. Find out about it on youtube.com/thevacuminator. Keep up to date with it on twitter.com @thevacuminator. And Instagram, Vacman. That is my Insta name, yes. And we're on Modular Media. Hey, it's a creative collab thing that everybody gets to join in and be friends with, except if you're not our friend, you can't, because we're trying to keep it from getting destroyed. Subscribe, like, comment, all that good shit. If you're on Spotify, I don't know, subscribe there. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. We're on Spotify. Go listen to us on Spotify. Listen to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter at The Modular Media and join our subreddit r/Modular Media for updates on podcasts and things when they come out. And we'll see you next week when we discuss, I'm assuming, just the third episode of WandaVision.
Yeah, I have a feeling that's just gonna happening.
Yeah, because it's going through March. It's going up until March, so I'm like, they're gonna do singular episode releases from now on.
Yeah, but remember, this podcast is for the children.
For the children.
For the children. Also for Boingo.
Giving Boingo the biggest Marvel boner ever.
Basically.
I cannot believe how that just immediately went into you doing your shit.
Whoa! When else do I get to mark out about fucking Marvel? Except every time we talk about Marvel in a podcast.